Motherly Madness, a crime story by Vahid Sajjadifar.
On a dreary autumn evening, Maria was walking through the streets of Tehran with her young son, Ali. The sky had darkened, and the streets seemed busier than usual. Maria decided to take a taxi to get home faster. The taxi they chose had an old and worn-out appearance. The driver, a middle-aged man with a cold and emotionless gaze, welcomed them with a fake smile. That night was destined to become a nightmare for Maria. On the way, the driver was speeding, and in a moment of negligence, he lost control of the car and crashed into a wall. Maria was severely injured by the impact, but Ali could not survive the accident. This incident completely changed Maria's life. After Ali's death, Maria became deeply depressed and anxious. She thought about her son day and night and could not find peace. Over time, she came to believe that her son's death was the result of the driver's negligence and that he must pay for this negligence. These thoughts gradually consumed Maria's mind, and she became completely insane. Nothing mattered to her anymore except revenge. In her small, dark home, Maria alone plotted sinister plans to take revenge on taxi drivers. She decided to pose as a passenger and trap the drivers. Every time she got into a taxi, she looked for an opportunity to execute her plan. Maria's first victim was a young driver named Amir. On a cold winter night, Amir picked up Maria as a passenger. Maria spoke to him in a calm and kind voice and asked him to take her to a distant destination. Midway, Maria took a small bottle out of her bag and offered it to Amir, saying it was a special juice she had prepared herself. Amir, pleased by Maria's kindness and honesty, drank the juice without any doubt. A few minutes later, Amir felt heavy and drowsy. He couldn't resist and lost consciousness. Maria quickly took control of the car and drove it to a dark forest. She dragged Amir out of the car and slaughtered him with a knife she had prepared in advance. Amir's body was found in the forest, and the police quickly started their investigation. Maria, feeling satisfied with her first kill, decided not to leave any traces behind. She meticulously cleaned up all evidence, making sure not to leave any clues. However, the police were still trying to find the killer. They soon realized that all the victims were taxi drivers who had picked up a similar passenger. The descriptions of the mysterious passenger gradually converged, and the police's mental image of Maria became clearer. Aware of the police's pursuit, Maria decided to execute her plans more carefully. Her second victim was a middle-aged driver named Alireza. He also picked up Maria as a passenger on a dark and cold night. She put a tasteless and odorless drug in the juice she offered to Alireza. Alireza quickly lost consciousness after drinking the juice. Maria took him to an abandoned warehouse and killed him with the same sharp knife. Again, she tried to eliminate all evidence, but the police were on her trail and getting closer each time. After killing her second victim, Maria decided to disappear for a while to avoid being traced by the police. She moved to a house on the outskirts of the city and lived alone. During this time, she drew up new plans for more revenge and thought of more creative ways to trap taxi drivers. Maria knew very well that the police were after her, but this did not stop her from pursuing her sinister plans. She believed that she could not find peace until she had fully avenged the taxi drivers, and therefore every day she thought about executing new plans. Maria's third victim was a young driver named Sajjad. Sajjad also picked up Maria as a passenger on a rainy night. This time, Maria used a new method. She had a special perfume with her that contained a sleeping agent. During the journey, Maria offered Sajjad to try the perfume. Sajjad, without any doubt, accepted the perfume and soon fell into a deep sleep. Maria took him to an abandoned garage and brutally killed him. Again, she tried to eliminate all evidence, but the police were still trying to find her. After finding Sajjad's body, the police concluded that all the murders were connected to a single individual. They meticulously searched for clues, gradually closing in on Maria. Realizing that the police were on her trail, Maria decided to disappear completely for a while to avoid capture. She moved to a small town near Tehran and continued her secretive life. During this time, she carefully planned new ways to take revenge on taxi drivers and sought out new methods to trap them. After some time living in the small town, Maria decided to return to Tehran and continue her sinister plans. Her fourth victim was a middle-aged driver named Mohsen. On a hot summer night, Mohsen picked up Maria as a passenger. This time, Maria used a new method. She had a special syrup containing a sleeping agent. Mohsen quickly lost consciousness after drinking the syrup. Maria took him to an abandoned building and ruthlessly killed him. Again, she tried to eliminate all evidence, but the police were still determined to find her. After finding Mohsen's body, the police confirmed that the murders were linked to one person and continued their search for clues with greater precision. Gradually, they drew closer to Maria, managing to track some of her movements. The police assigned several undercover officers to drive taxi in the hope of capturing Maria. Finally, the agent could capture Maria while she was executing her plan. Unhappy with her capture, Maria confessed to all her murders and was sentenced to life imprisonment for her crimes. In the end, her ruthless quest for revenge came to an end, and the police were able to bring justice.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.